I have like
Nothing
an
else
AC.
going.
I have like an AC vent like right beneath my desk, and when my mic isn't like back over my desk, it like picks it up horribly. But I just downloaded that new NVIDIA like broadcast software that has like really good noise canceling. So
yeah, I don't hear. I hear. I think Robbie's kids are my kids.
okay, well, good. That means it's
Probably
working.
my
Our kids.
Could be anybody's kids.
It's kids.
Hey, Gary, welcome. Hey, Manny's here too. Nice to see you, Manny. All right, it's time. Here we go. Hey, everybody, welcome to Geek Together. Oh, look, Barely's here. Just showed up. Thank you for the sub. 11 months.
Of course he's here.
11 months.
He's got a bone to pick with me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. Cutie Beck's here. Gary's here. Manny's here. Ben's here. Nice to see everybody. And yes, I said it before. Thank you again, Barely, for the subscription. 11 months. Can't believe we've been on doing this for 11 months.
That's pretty impressive.
You know, a couple things of note, just a little housekeeping. Just this week, we hit our 2-year mark for the podcast.
That's crazy.
So we're 2 years old.
Nice.
I didn't remember it. Actually, Ed posted it on Twitter because he said, hey, according to my timeline, 2 years ago was the first podcast for Geek Together posted. So we're clearly really good at this whole marketing thing.
Oh, yeah, we're the greatest.
Keeping track of this stuff. That's the first thing. And the second thing you may notice, Clint's not here with us today, but it's his birthday. So happy birthday, Clint. He's out doing, I hope, drinking a couple beers, having a good time. And tomorrow's his daughter's birthday. So he has to get his birthday in now because that will quickly overshadow his birthday tomorrow. Be like it never happened. Like,
right.
I feel like you sort of hit a certain age and then you don't really have birthdays anymore. It's like you start.
You don't really care.
How old you are, and it's like
yeah.
I actually do have to add up my age now, but it's because it's beyond my fingers and toes, and so anyway. Welcome, everybody, to Geek Together. Tonight, we have a special guest. Thank you, Eric, for joining us. But first, your host, Damien, and with me, as always,
Christina,
Robbie,
and Eric.
And
thank you for having me.
Was his 40th birthday? That's true. I actually didn't know it was his 40th.
Oh,
Clint's 40?
He's 40?
What the hell? I did not anticipate that.
I doubt Clint will ever let Ave out. That's true. If there's one person that would keep his birthday going to being special forever, will be Clint. That's true. Or Seth, who's never around because he always has something he's celebrating.
That's true.
But anyway. Well, anyway, Eric, thanks for joining us again. You've been
thanks for having me.
It's got to be almost a year now. Was it? Or was it later than that? Yeah, I think it was like last year. Around July, August.
This is my third time on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I don't even remember.
Let's start counting it because, like, who's been on most? Maybe Gary. Maybe Clint because he still acts like he's really just a guest on the show.
That's true. He does.
That's true. He's really a Four Dorksman host, but he's a guest on Geek Together every single week.
He just shows up every time.
He has the link. He just shows up. Yeah. OC Designers here. It's Jesse Starr. Welcome. All right, let's jump into it. So as always, we like to start off just with one thing new, cool to show this week. I'll start. I usually pass it off to somebody else, but I'll start this week. So so first I'll just show it. So I got this guy here. This is Mr. Bones, is the designer or the character. And this is the Skeletor version, which was Series 1. We've shown we had Series 2 before. This is Series 1. I can only show one of them. I do have a case of them, which is 8. Yeah, 8. This is really cool. On the side, he has like a little He-Man plush on his side of his backpack.
I love the
Nice
little
touch.
accessories.
Nice.
And then on this side, he has his staff.
Skeletor wrap.
That's cool.
Nice.
So, yeah, how
Those
cool
are like
is that?
removable, and then there's little pocket attachments
And then the
too.
little
Oh, sweet.
backpack. Look at that.
Tons of detail.
It's really cool. It's very hefty. Yeah, the headphones come off. And so do the masks. He has multiple masks. So this is what it looks like with that one, which is actually pretty cool too. And then this is the secondary mask they have for it with the horns on it.
Very cool.
So pretty neat. We have more. We'll do a unboxing of it, I think, sometime soon of the rest of them because they're all sealed. I mean, this case is completely sealed. We have Series 2, and we already pre-ordered Series 3. A case of those too, because these really are. If you get a chance to get any of these figures, you should get them.
They're pretty cool.
Gary, you should definitely pick up Series 2 or 3. Yeah, you should definitely.
I think they're available over at Strange Cat too.
Are they still
or
available?
3.
Series 3?
I think 3 is, yeah. I'll do a
Yeah.
quick look. Mr. Bowman.
So I'll check that out. So that's mine.
Nice.
All right, Robbie, what do you got?
Oh, you can move to me. I didn't get any designer stuff in this week.
It's okay. Whatever you got. I'm
I
sure it's
got.
Funko.
I don't know why I got this, but I got it nonetheless.
You got-
It's
You're rich.
Because why not?
It's nice. Yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, I saw it go up, and I sat there and I looked at it. I'm like, nah, yeah. And then I like, no, actually, yeah. Yep. So I got that guy in, and he's pretty cool looking. There's no denying the black light on these things is really cool. I don't even need that black light to show how cool they are.
Yeah.
Do you have the other Blacklight series, like all of them?
I have Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and Doctor Strange. So the first round of Target ones.
Mm.
So it makes sense that you would have gotten one.
Yeah, so I have a few, not all of them. And I don't have the Carnage.
Well,
Sounds expensive.
Yeah, I did try to get that one when it did drop, about a year or so ago, whenever it did.
I had it in my cart, and I was like, nah.
Maybe
What am I
I'm gonna
doing?
open it.
It was during the time, I think when it dropped was during the time when I was trying to be really good about, just stop buying shit just because it's there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I think we all do that. Like, just because
yeah.
I can,
Mhm.
stop buying it. Because I look, some people are really good about selling stuff. I am not one of those people. And it's not me being righteous that I'm not a reseller or something. Like, don't get on that.
Right.
It's just, I don't care about that. Like, you do you. I don't care. You buy it and you sell it. I wasn't getting it anyway. So I'm never one to get mad at people for that. I mean, it is what it is. It's you can't stop it. But so it's not me. I'm not being righteous about that. I'm just terrible about it. I get it. Like, I'll just sit in my box. Like, I literally have a box outside my office right now. I get these Funko and I'm putting it in a box
Yeah.
because I have no display to put them on. So anyway.
Yep.
Well, good on you for getting it. There's a lot of
Really?
people upset that you got it and they didn't.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Especially given how much you want it, because it was really weird. If you look, I saw a chart that showed people wanted it, but then the higher an price on eBay, the more they wanted it. Like the demand, like they're a bigger fan. They became bigger Ghost Rider fans.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember when Damien was back when Damien still lived in Utah, and the regular Ghost Rider was popping up, and we got those, and then I think we had them in our hand in the store, and they're like, yeah, no, we don't want these actually.
Yeah.
They're too big.
You have
Is
many people telling you to open it.
So I know I've noticed.
He
on
won't
there.
open it. He's like,
I'll open it one day when it's picture time. You'll see him
Oh.
at a box someday.
there you go. You just buy things for props now at this point.
That,
Okay, fair enough.
that's not a lie. I do buy a lot of things just for pictures.
I
Wow.
used to be the same way.
Yep.
I don't do that. I don't take pictures. I should, but I don't.
I take pictures of almost everything.
I like that, Jason. He needs to stay minty fresh.
Yeah, minty.
Robbie does prefer everything to be minty. All right, Eric. Got anything? Got anything cool to show?
Yeah, actually, I do. I was trying to think. I've been really good. I haven't been buying like hardly anything. The only thing I bought recently is one of the new Sank pieces that just dropped. It was the Void, the Spectrum piece.
That was cool.
It
Yeah.
was like the rainbow one with his like arm behind his back.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful piece. Sank's like kind of all that I've been really purchasing recently is just because like many people, I'm very limited on space. So, you know, I'm trying
His
to
stuff's
just, like,
beautiful.
get things
I have to try every time I go look at Sank pieces, I have to stop from buying them because they're all cool. Yeah.
One thing that I love about Sank and that me and like Dakota and Hauken and Morgan, we're all in on Sank, but we love the fact that there's so many different designs, so many different colorways that you can actually be selective without feeling like you need to get everything.
That's true.
Which is really nice because I only have like 2 or 3 pieces, but I don't feel bad about all of the other ones that I didn't get, you know? So it's pretty good. But let me show you one thing that I did get recently.
Okay. I like that display.
I was actually going to ask him how he has them hanging on the wall like that.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
I sent about 30 comics down to CGC to get graded, and it took like 8 months for them to get graded. But I collect the old Haunted Mansion comics. Okay, they were by a company not Marvel, because Marvel did the newer run of Haunted Mansion comics, and this was a store incentive. So it has like a red foil cover.
Yep.
It's really, yep.
I see it. Yeah, you can see it when you move it. Yeah.
I got lucky, got a 9.8 on this. There's only 2 9.8s in existence.
Oh, wow.
So it's not like a popular book, but
what year was that one released?
2005, I think.
5, so 16 years.
Yeah, 2005.
That's pretty good. A 9.8 after 16 years.
And I have all of the Marvel run, almost all of the variants. They had, I think, 5 issues through Marvel, and then this old publisher, they did like 7 issues. And I have all of them except for a few of the variants of the Marvel ones. But there's talks that a new Haunted Mansion movie has been written, and like Guillermo del Toro is attached to it and stuff. So who knows? They could be way more sought after in the future. So
I like your the way you hung your comics on the wall there. It's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I can display 10 of them. So
I think that so you could rotate the display. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are those,
them in and out.
Are those single attachments or one big attachment with 10?
No, they're single. They're all individual. Yeah.
Yeah. So we gotta get for the Fortress, Robbie.
Yep. I do.
Yeah. So that's the newest.
He's got the tiny ghost print behind him. I think that's
I do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I just cleaned this room out. I used to have all my airbrush stuff, but I just moved it down to the basement. So, I kind of wanted a little more zen in this room. It was beginning to look like an absolute disaster zone. So I had to clean it up.
Well, very nice.
Yeah.
All right, Christina.
My turn. I didn't actually get this week. Peyton got this, but I'm going to show it off for her. We had Jamie from Arctic Fox on a few weeks ago, and she was kind enough to send this cute little Ashling, which is a new product line that she's going to be doing, and she made it pink for Peyton.
Her stuff's so clean.
It is amazingly
so good.
clean. There is not a line or a blemish anywhere. They're amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, after we did the show, and then we did like an unboxing with Peyton, and Peyton did a nice video for Jamie. Peyton loved it.
It's so cute. It's a little bit shorter than the sparklings and the droplets.
She had a black one too, right? I think that's our post.
Yeah, their post. She kind of showed it off after this one. Yeah.
Yeah, the black one with the white eyes.
Yep, the glow in the dark eyes.
Yes. Oh, they glow. Even better.
Yeah.
Yes.
They do glow. They do glow.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. Yeah. All right. Well, like I said,
Jason.
What's that?
Jason, here, I'll put it up on the thing for us.
Oh, that's funny. The artist line, it is quite amazing. Although, as she said, her secret on the show, there's no secret. It's lots of sanding.
Yep.
Lots of sanding and polishing. Lots of sanding and polishing. That's what you have to do. There's no secret to. Well, I mean, there is to clean paint, and it's patience. It's patience.
Yep.
Practice.
Patience. Lots of practice.
Labor of love.
Lots of patience, and love it.
Yep.
You better love doing it because it's
Yeah.
gonna. That's why I can't do it. Every time I tried painting, I'd be like, I'm too impatient for the next coat. She's like, no, really thin coats, lots of them, and let them dry fully in between. And, that's what Instagram's for. So look at while paint's drying.
That's why I listen to Eric's feed every once in a while.
I'm guilty, though, of, especially on stream. If I'm painting things, I'm just like, I'm not letting things dry all the way. But the paints I use, they dry really fast.
Yeah, it depends on what you're doing, honestly. Yeah. The more detailed stuff, you don't necessarily have to wait as long.
No.
When you're doing like the
base coats,
larger area base coats, that it's more important.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And you typically do more of your detail stuff. I mean, you do a lot of the stuff.
I do pretty much all of it. Because a lot of my like base painting is all spray painting anyways, or airbrushing. So I let that sit for at least a couple days before I, get it on stream, because I'm handling it a lot, and now it's hot as hell here, so that's even worse for painting. It's no fun.
Yeah, it's getting hot here in Texas as well. We have to figure that out. So you've been working on a lot of stuff. I just saw your most recent piece you've been posting on. That's the Saint custom?
Yeah.
Yeah. That you did with the it's sort of the galaxy with the moon, like that. You've been doing that treatment. Beautiful treatment, by the way. Beautiful.
Thank you. I actually have it sitting right here.
Yeah, perfect. Let's show everybody that piece. It's gorgeous.
The head's not on yet, so.
Yeah, look at that. I love how you made the whole head the moon.
And even in the inside, the side portholes.
It's really cool. And I like you've been doing the galaxy. I have a couple of your ghosts here.
Yeah.
That sort of galaxy base that you've been perfecting. Like you have a few treatments you kind of run with on a lot of pieces, right?
Yeah, I've been really trying to hone in on that. That whole galaxy look has evolved a lot. And recently I started doing canvases of it too. Oh. And I've been watching some other artists who do cosmic work, and I've been learning a lot more about how to put depth into it. So like I started doing some spray cans too. Okay. 'Cause I just had a million sitting around. And so it's a really cool canvas too, because it's not flat, so it's easier to get like, some dimension to it. But yeah, so that whole look has gone through like 5 evolutions, and then I'm trying to add more to it. So like the moon rock thing is definitely not new to add to it. I've seen some other artists do it too, like Uncle Studio, he does it too. We kind of have our own take on it. I'm just this Sang piece that I just did though, that's by far the best like moon rock I've done. I'm learning more. I'm just studying, different dry brushing effects and stuff like that, which I've done that on stream. So you can see like that whole process. It takes a while, but it looks really nice. So I'm learning that, and I'm just trying to incorporate more elements into my pieces so they look even, more advanced, instead of just doing like, I even said in that post for the Sang piece, like, 2 years ago, even I would have just done a cosmic like coverall and just done cosmic on the whole thing. Now I have, 5 different elements in one small piece. And yeah, it's cool to see. I love the fact that we have Instagram and stuff like this now, because we can go back and look at, all of our progression and stuff like that. It's really cool. So
I like that. I like that, Barely. A moon rock face Dahlia. That sounds good.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I did it on a Megatech too.
Yes.
I grabbed some pieces.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This galaxy paint job I did on this one was pretty darn cool.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've seen your style for a long. I mean, obviously, we've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
Way when you're just doing Funko stuff, like when you first started getting into it. So it's really kind of mind blowing to see progression of so many people, like including you, like just seeing the, as somebody, same with Christina. I mean, Christina, the same thing, the progression of her stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I get a front row seat to that. But, from afar watching you, like let me grab this real quick. Let's see my cord goes far enough. Here we go. So I have, like, friends, here you go. I have this Tiny Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
It is beautiful. Because you can see the difference what you're saying from what you're showing.
Oh yeah.
That one's probably about a year old now?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably a year old.
Yep.
But I mean, it's right there. Probably. As a matter of fact, you should be very, very proud. This is actually on my daughter's display.
Oh, nice.
So she comes to my office probably every month or so.
Steal something.
One of the things that we do is we go, okay, Peyton, what do you want on your display? And she'll just pick from all the different toys we have and new stuff that we've gotten. And she has a little shelf over here in my office that she's kind of the curator for, if you will.
That's awesome.
So yeah, she picked your piece. It's been there for a while now. Hasn't been taken off either. But
wow,
just seeing the progression just into what you're showing. I mean, I don't have it in hand, but I can see it definitely on the Instagram pictures and everything. Just the depth, like you said. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
That depth of color range.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty cool to see that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing a job for Poppin' Beards.
Okay.
I have five Megatechs, so I'm doing a run for them, and they'll all be different color variants of this Moonrock Cosmic Megatech. That's cool. So
very nice.
No timeline on them yet, but
yeah, I know he's trying to get a little bit more into the designer toy stuff.
Oh yeah, I did a unboxing the other day of stuff he sent me, and people would be drooling with this. He sent me so much stuff. Such a cool dude, Eddie. He's awesome. So
yeah, he's a great guy.
I have stuff to work on for like a year with him. So
that's the problem, right? There's not enough time.
Right. No, seriously. I mean, yeah, I've been very fortunate recently. Between the Sank pieces, I have 3 that I'm sending back to them. Arctong toys, their B1 spacer, the iguana, they just sent me 3 blanks. Nice. And then, Eddie sent me all that stuff, and man, it's crazy. It's really wild.
That's great though.
Yeah, it keeps you busy. Keeps you busy. And I do like the fact that, like, I could tell your stuff when I see it out there. Like, even if I don't see you working on it, I'll see like the Tequila Sunrise or the Galaxy or certain things, and I can just like, oh look, that's a showpiece. And I think it's pretty cool that you kind of use those techniques on over and over and over again in different variations of different colors. Yeah.
Yep. Well, and I'm really like, along with the cosmic stuff, my Tequila Sunrise stuff, I'm adding more elements to that too, which is really cool. So I'm just trying to like build a complete look, that's not just a color fade. So like I did a can with this too, and I added, just a nice little kind of tropical motif to it and stuff. So
you're gonna have like a line of cans available soon.
I have about 50 in my garage that are pretty much empty. So I just have to find out the logistics on shipping them, because I don't know. So you're not allowed to ship with like aerosol and stuff, but they're empty.
We get aerosol from Amazon.
Yeah. That's
right.
I don't know. I need to look into it though. I need to talk to Big C.
They're empty cans, aren't they?
What?
They're empty cans, aren't they?
Yeah, but they still rattle. I don't know. Post office. It's kind of weird.
Right. Fair enough.
Amazon sends us paint, so I don't know.
It
seems like full of cans would be exactly. So
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. They just have those big warnings up. Can't send anything with aerosol. I think it's like some sort of extra shit.
Puncture the bottom.
Companies
there's an idea.
I don't know. I'll stick a magnet on the bottom so the ball doesn't rattle, and they won't know.
That is a good idea.
I actually learned that graffiti artists, they make like Montana and stuff. They make magnets that go on the bottoms of cans, so they don't make any noise when they're like tagging train cars and stuff.
I think that's what
Sket1
said when we interviewed him.
Oh gotcha. Yeah, that's right. With Skit1 you talked about that.
Yeah, and Bean told me about like some of the paints like that Iron Lac makes, like the Iron Lac sugar paints, which are like they have like an actual sweet smell. She told me that they smell like that because dogs can't smell it. So like in train yards, like the dogs can't smell the paint. It's crazy.
It's amazing what they go through to make the old train cars look better.
Yeah.
It's like you think they just welcome them in at this point. I mean, you'd think that nowadays, like, yes, please come paint my train car, so it's worth a bunch of money. It's still money.
I'm not joking. There's train tracks right by my parents' house, and my kid is infatuated with trains. He's 4 years old, so of course. But we go out and we watch the trains go by, and I swear some of these cars, the graffiti on them is so beautiful that they have to be letting people paint them. Like there's no way that somebody can just sneak in and paint it overnight.
Well, I think a lot of people are doing that now. I mean, it's kind of in. It's like murals on the side of the building. It used to be like when Schl0 was on, he'd say like it used to be where you had to sneak into a place, get a canvas, not get caught, not get arrested. Now they're paying them to come do the side of their building.
Yeah, I mean, some of these pieces are, I mean, it's the full car. It's a big, beautiful mural and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, they're definitely not sneaking in overnight and tagging this.
Yeah, I have like a whole set of TikToks that I watch that are just on graffiti artists.
Yeah.
It's amazing the stuff they can do with a spray can.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I did see recently there was a Kickstarter for this company that was turning any bottle, like a water bottle. Have you seen that?
Culture Hustle.
Yeah, Culture Hustle, yeah.
That thing is a piece of trash.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. You should see the videos that they post. I mean, it's like if you've ever sprayed a can that's like half clogged and it just starts like spewing paint everywhere, that's what it's like.
No, I don't have one, and I think it's still on Kickstarter or something like that, right?
And at the same time, like, yeah, you can use plastic bottles, but I'm not cleaning a plastic bottle out to put different paint in it after I use it. Like, we know what happens to acrylic paints and stuff when they dry.
Is it recyclable anymore?
So I don't know. I mean, if it's maybe, but still, you're going through bottles like crazy, so it's not like it's that much better for the environment, anyways. But
no, probably not. That's true.
I don't know. I don't know.
Just go with the tried and true. I think that's why the aerosol cans are still where they are. Because if there was been anything other, if there's any other option out there, it probably.
And there are companies that make like bottle attachments that are way better already. So if you look for it, you can find it.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
So you got all that work to do. The last time we talked to you, I think it might have been the last time we talked to you, you were talking about doing your own project, but is that kind of backburnered and focused more on the...
Well, so that original character, okay, now I remember when I was on. It was before the Robin's Nest Collectibles ugly Christmas sweater party.
That's right. Okay, yeah.
That piece didn't even sell. So that character kind of went out the window for me, but I do officially have the ball rolling on my own figure.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's finally time. So I'm working with Mr. Jason, Mr. Barely, and yeah, for sure. And he was the one that was hounding me in a good way for so long. You know, we have that symbiotic relationship where we just, we tell each other what we need to hear.
What's designing your figure? Did he ever tell you that looks like garbage? You should redo it.
Very
I was
passive,
about that. Yeah.
Very passively, aggressively. He's like, "Do you really want that to look like that?" No, just kidding. No,
he's out last week, and he said something like he showed you something. You're like, "Yeah, that's trash."
Yeah.
Do better. Do better, Jason.
I have the screen. I have the screenshot of the conversation. So I'm gonna read for you guys. He showed me a picture of his ribbit. He said, I said, "That's cool." And he goes, "Thanks. I rushed it. I had limited time." And I said, I said, "How come you had to rush it?" And he said, "Well, I had the weekend to myself." And I said, "Okay, cool." And then he realized that it looked too much like the Hulk, and he was like, "Well, I wish I had more time then because I got the date wrong. He made it a month earlier than he needed to have it turned in." So I said, "Time to start over. Take your time with it." He said, "Wipe it down and start over." So that was it.
Ah.
There you go.
But no, I mean, Jason, you everybody knows Jason. He's super creative, and it's cool that through all this,
my desk, I love this stuff,
see? It's cool that we've become such good friends, over the past like 3 years. I was talking to him when Barely was being created, basically. So no, it's very cool. He's what he's done recently with his 3D sculpting and stuff. I think he's a massive new future ahead of him if he chooses to go in that consulting type way or anything on the side. I mean, especially once we get my figure out, people are going to be knocking down the doors. All I heard was trash, start over. Anyway.
Well, I'm glad we got to the bottom. No, but I agree with you 100%. I mean, same here. Yeah. We've been friends with Jason, way before like people knew Barely, really. Before the vinyl piece, even we have like one of the resins Barely he's making those things, and yeah, same thing. And my biggest concern when I saw him all of his 3D designs that he's doing, all the sculpting he's doing, is like, man, that's a lot of stuff I'm gonna want to buy.
Yeah.
So I hope he slows it down a little bit and goes, helps. I'd love to see what he's working on with you. That's awesome. You should be doing your own thing personally. I think the same way. And I think you can mix it in. I mean, Christina's done a good job of like, we do our own things here, but we still do the text and the whatever. Do the shows.
Well, and my schedule next year, because my kid's going to start preschool, my schedule is going to be so jacked up that, I honestly don't know how much time I'm going to have to like do customs and stuff like that. So the idea that I'll have my own thing that I can, be on my schedule with and all that stuff, it's just going to be so much nicer mentally. Cause I'm, I'll do shows with friends and stuff like that. But, the grind to try to get into these like bigger, like studio shows and stuff like that, I'm probably just not even going to worry about it next year just because I'm horrible. We know artists are horrible with deadlines and all that crap. We wait till the last minute to do everything. So, I just don't want to put all that pressure.
Tell everybody that.
Oh, they know.
I think it's also hard to like you want to be involved in everything, but it's hard to like push yourself on people too. Like to like really lobby for the show. Like there's some we see that would be awesome to be in, and some you can't be in all of them anyway. But
and I'm not the type of person to like go out of my way to try to befriend people. Just I know that that's like you got to make things happen for yourself, but at the same time, it's like it's just not my personality to like go and befriend people from Martian Toys just to try to get into tech shows. Like, I guess my mentality towards the whole thing is I want people to recognize me for the work that I do. And, I don't know, maybe it's the wrong way to go about it, but I got my taste of a handful of shows at the first half of this year, and, they were good. It was a good experience. I'll just leave it at that because I don't know. I don't like giving away half of the money that I make on a piece,
That can be the hard part, especially when
I think,
a lot of your time is toward things that are in shows. People don't really realize that the artist gets a lot less when it's something that's purchased in a show.
Well, and I know a lot of people.
I typically, I'm like you. I'm not going to go chasing after things, generally speaking. And I've had a decent amount of luck with people approaching me to do things, and that's fine. I'll say yes to most of them
for sure.
And if I don't have time, then I don't have time.
Right.
But yeah, I'm the same way. Sometimes it's like you put your heart and soul into these things, and then you end up with like 60% out of the total, and you don't want to overprice it because you want to be able to sell, and you don't want to underprice it because you need to have some sort of
and that's the thing with me. Like I've always made sure that a lot of my stuff is accessible financially to a bigger like range of people. So to get into a show and try to charge like double of what I would normally charge for a piece, like not saying that's going to alienate my fan base, but it's just like it's just different, you know. Like I want to price things the way that I price them, and I have in shows, and I just take less of a, you know, commission fee, just because, like you said, it's more about exposure. You
That's
know,
what it is.
but,
You're basically, I mean, the way I look at it is you're paying advertising.
for sure, yeah.
Essentially, right? What you're doing is you don't have to pay it up front, but you're paying advertising, because if you get into a Martian toy show, you're getting a lot of eyeballs on your work that they never would have seen you on it, because it's amazing.
Audiences.
Yeah, you're getting different audiences, so, people who wouldn't normally see your stuff.
Even if it's not somebody as big as like Martian Toys, these other smaller places or galleries or whatever, they'll have their own followings, and they may not have ever come across your work or my work.
It's true.
Or Jason's work or whatever. So when you go and put a piece in there, it may bring them around to your social media.
You know, even if it's two different eyes, you know, that could lead to them telling two other people, and then, you know, how it just snowballs. It's just word of mouth. But I think, like, you know, with COVID this past year and all these like virtual shows popping up, and like anybody being able to do, you know, shows, I think it kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say like devalued like the art shows themselves, but it seemed like some of these smaller stores were finding a way to make money, which is cool, because, you know, I'm sure a lot of them were kind of struggling, but as we know in the collector world, you know, everything's been booming this past year. It's been insane. But I don't know. They're good experiences. Learn something new from each one, and kind of just
I think
focus on just focus on, you know, how I want to progress, which, you know, I am doing this more full time now, but I'm still stay-at-home dad, and, you know, so this next year when my kid's in preschool, he's only going like half days, and it's like middle of the day. So I don't know what my streaming schedule is going to end up being like come August, but all I know is I want to get enough stuff set up for the following year when he's in kindergarten, and I have 6 or 7 hour days, 5 days a week, where I can really, you know, do whatever I want as much as I want.
I'm very excited for the fall this year.
Yeah. Kids go back to school. I know it's probably been a long year and a half.
No, our daughter actually starts kindergarten
as well.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
so we get all of them out of the house.
Yeah, awesome. But yeah, I want to have stuff set up, you know, for a year and a half from now or so, when I can really, really focus 100% on doing this stuff. So if I can already have a figure out and kind of, you know, hone in on all that stuff once that time comes, it'll be better than, you know, dragging my feet until then, you know, to start. And somebody will probably make what I'm coming up with anyways. So then I'll be.
Hey, you know, there's no such thing. I mean, look, I think one thing I've learned, and I think you touched on it with the paint techniques before, like there's no like, it's all about your application to it and even your interpretation of it, because everything you look at reminds you of something.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, trust me, I already know when my figure comes out. I already know what the naysayers are going to say about it. So I was actually talking about it in my stream, and they're like, why are you going to that place already? And I was like, I have a public relations degree. I have to plan for that stuff. It's like, it's just the way my brain works.
Yeah, you just gotta kind of ignore it and just put your stuff on it. It doesn't matter, because it'll be yours. Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome though. I'm very excited.
Everybody's influenced by something, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that there will be people that will say things, but I haven't encountered a ton of that. Not to me anyway. And I know that Dahlia is not like a super unique, like she's a cat girl with a skull face. Like there's lots of figures out there with skulls and cutesy kitties. So I mean, like it's not like, completely an original thing.
But like Damien said, it's the way you apply it. So
right.
You know,
so
yours has its own style.
Yeah, you just have to you have to do something that is uniquely to you, even if it has similarities to other things.
Right.
Unfortunately, in the world we live in, everything's going to have a similarity to something.
But I mean, when you look out there, right? I mean, look at all of these characters that we buy.
Oh yeah.
There's so many similar things because it's what's popular. I mean, you look at and forget the flat platform itself, but look at the paint techniques, and you put bones on this, and you put hearts on this, or you put metallic or in black and gold, and or it's a ghost. No, it's a tiny ghost. No, it's a ghost bear. No, it's a. But they're all, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's just the industry, and all. Look, how many Batmans do I own?
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're all fucking the same. It's like it doesn't matter. It's a collector's like, oh, but that has a slightly different color treatment. So we all.
No, and I mean, I totally had. I don't know. I had an issue for quite a while when I started seeing people like doing the same, like, Tequila Sunrise color fade, and then some pieces use the same blue color and everything that I use for my details, and I was pretty bitter about it, and
I could see that. It's a little frustrating.
It's something
especially if it's closer to home. Like, it's one thing if it's like somebody on the other side of the world you don't know at all. Like,
right.
You're like, okay, well, great minds.
But when you're going like the same sort of colors, like
or the same
blended
circle
colors,
people,
and then the same detail colors, it's like it's one thing to have a gradient of some sort, and then detailed with something else, or not done differently in a different style. Like that's you're not gonna immediately think, oh, that person saw my work and is copying.
Well,
but when it's like really the same.
Well, and then it even got to a point where, like, not in a bad way because it's kind of flattering, but like something gets made and then people who like are in my stream every day, then they go and comment on those pictures and be like, oh, did Eric make that? Just like smart ass. And I'm like, I had to have a chat with all the kids one day on stream. I was like, listen, we need to flip the narrative on this. It's something that should be celebrated if artists are inspiring each other, But at the same time, I do think when artists, are inspired by other artists, they should acknowledge that. Yes. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying like, yo, I did this piece because I love, what Christina does with her pieces. Like, I wanted it to be like that. And, I don't think there's anything wrong with that if it's celebrated. There's already enough competition in this whole scene that, it gets stressful at times. So,
no, I agree. If I was ever going to go and do something that I'd ask you, or I would tell you. If I was going to like make something inspired by your work, I'd be like, hey, Eric, I'm going to.
Right.
I'll just give you a dolly and tell you to do it. Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's a little bit of a code of etiquette. If you know the person, then yes, you should like give them a heads up or a
say, hey, is it cool if you don't mind?
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
But if you don't know the person, that's fine too. But tag them and be like, hey, I'm inspired by this fabulous work by whoever.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying you're inspired by people. I mean, we're all inspired by multiple people in multiple ways, It's like it's not a bad thing.
But you might be onto something about the separation of artist and opportunist. And there might be a very big difference between that, right? Like, I think the artists that are working on things and cultivating their craft and building these things up, a lot of them, I think they would have that etiquette. I think other people are like, oh, that's really cool. I can put this on this really easily, or find a way to do it in a way and sell it. But you kind of gotta put your head down and just go back to the old saying of what's that saying on
sincerest form of
flattery is
imitation.
Imitation, that's right. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
And that's why I kind of started adding more elements to my pieces too, just so they could be even more identifiable, like adding patterns and stuff like that on top of, a gradient, because at the end of the day, it's a gradient. And it's a very common gradient, so it's not like you can claim it as your own. But
there's a drink that's, you can sort of.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's upside down, though.
It's upside down, right? That's true.
Opposite way.
That's true.
I will say, adding the extra layers, though, shows your level of expertise over somebody else's, because of the gradient, as soon as you start painting over it, you get one shot at it, really.
Right.
Like, if you mess it up, it's pretty messed up.
Oh, for sure.
Start over.
Yeah.
So it's actually like way more impressive.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to, like, especially with like the Tequila Sunrise stuff, I'm trying to choose patterns and stuff that if I screw up, I can still just kind of add on to them even more.
We have to build that in, right? So you can plan that.
I haven't completely trashed a piece in quite a while. Normally, recently the only times I have is because I got a Cricut machine.
You haven't had anybody tell you wipe it down, start over?
Jason actually told me, he said, start clear coating your stuff before you paint it, so you can wipe it off if you screw up. And
then you told Jason, I'm sorry, I'm a professional. I don't have to.
I don't need to start over. No, but that was
a good plan. It's a good plan if you have to often start over.
That was such a good piece of advice, because
that is actually pretty good.
It saved my ass quite a few times.
That's actually a good point, because it's a lot easier.
I definitely messed up on a recent piece where it had like sort of a gradient type background.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I totally fucked it up. I start doing the details, and I'm like, oh, this looks so bad.
We can't show the piece right now, but you won't be able to tell when you see it, though. Because you had
no mistakes, happy accidents.
This was one that I didn't even need Damien to tell me that I needed to restart.
Yeah, you just knew. You just knew the second it happened. Yeah.
I got halfway through, and I'm like, this is...
This is not good.
It ruined the rest of my day. Like I was.
Right.
Oh, she was pissed. I didn't even.
Oh,
I went to the other room. I left the room. So I was making little jokes. I was making little jokes, and there was no kidding around.
Yeah, no, you can't make that better.
6 or 8 hours painting something, and half of it is just like you're starting over.
Mm-hmm. Like, the worst to me is when like you do like a really, really intense sculpt on something, and the clay before it's primed or anything, it looks amazing. And then you start putting paint on it, and you're like, oh, this looks like complete shit. Like, I thought this was way smoother than it was. You know, it's like, oh, there's a fingerprint. There's a fingerprint. Didn't sand that part enough. Oh, there's a crabby spot, you know?
I have definitely started painting things before and then been like, nope, well, just break out the sandpaper.
Yeah.
We're doing this. Wipe it down.
Yeah.
That's why I don't do this stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be on the other hand. I'd be like, no, I can't. I don't have the patience for that. I'd be like, forget it. That's why I can't do it. But I think, all joking aside about the, conversation you, Jason, I do this for Christina. I think it's really important for artists to have those people around them that can give them the honest feedback of like,
for sure.
It's cool. I'll support you. But
you
know what I see.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I see. I know you do. Look, I had Christina before. I'd be like, oh, what about that? She's like,
damn it! I was hoping you wouldn't see it.
I know. I didn't. Yeah, I know.
Well, and it's me and Jason. We have a really cool X factor that we both excel in different things. Like we can. Well, I mean, I don't cast resin and stuff. Well, I've tried, but it comes out horribly. But I will say, and he will agree, that my painting technique is superior to his, but his creativeness and the ability to see things and just conceptualize things is far greater than mine. So, that's why obviously, among other reasons, I chose to work with him on my piece.
That's good. I mean, look, there's a theory in the workplace. I mean, it applies to this too, is hire for your weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And because, and I think that makes your team stronger. And so
absolutely.
I think that's what you want to do. You can't have, and you fight less because you have two people that are experts at one thing. And then it's like, that's all you gotta do is go round and round on that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with outsourcing things that you're not good at or that will take you too long to figure out. I went and tried to make a mold this week, and it did not turn out.
Well,
we learned some lessons this week.
We did learn some lessons.
Yeah, as long as you learn,
appreciation for being largened.
Yeah, as long as you learn from mistakes. Yeah, mistakes were made.
Well, I cracked one of our masters, so that was pretty bad. Yeah.
Pressure pot and a 3D print, and too much.
Well,
we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming too much pressure and not enough mixing on silicone or whatever.
Oof. But no, I even had that whole complex about having I dragged my feet so long on creating a figure. Because you guys know, I've said it before, I can't draw. I can't draw for anything. Like my sketches look like my kid did them. So for a while I kind of had this complex, if I have an idea for a figure but all I have is the idea, then it's not mine or something, which is completely crap.
It is.
But then I kept saying I'm going to just sculpt my figure from scratch to give you an idea of it, and then that takes a lot of time that I chose to just drag my feet on. And that's why I love streaming and the community I have. Like, you know, there's a solid 20 people who are in there, you know, every single week. And I take a lot of advice from them, and I ask them a lot of questions, you know, and we had the big discussion one day, like Priscilla, Valor and Vellum was in there and stuff. And, you know, other artists. And I was like, I feel like if I just give him an idea and he draws it and then 3D sculpts it and then 3D prints it, and then we get it casted, that it's not my figure, which is, you know,
but you're not just going to say like, here's my idea and then give all creative license to him.
Right.
Like that's not how it works. Like,
and that's how people kind of told me. They were like, you need to get that out of your head because it's your idea, it's your vision. You just can't physically draw it.
Yeah, my first sketches of Dahlia were not the same.
Right.
And I was art directed by Reese. Like he took a look over them and
that's an amazing story.
Of advice. So then I went and I redrew it and then did my first hand done.
That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went that way too. I went with the first handmade sculpt, and then we started doing some resin casting that way. But it's the same sort of thing. There's nothing wrong with having some like bouncing ideas off of somebody or taking advice or
even have them. I mean, look, if you talk to anybody, you talk to Reese, Jason, there's people giving feedback.
Yeah.
It's not like your idea ends up being exactly what you create because there's influence along the way. I mean, we had the same thing. Christina had a drawing, sent it to Reese. Reese like, hey, no offense, do you want me to go all art director on you? We're like, absolutely. And man, he sent us like a multi-page with notes and like slides of this and what to think about for manufacturing. It was amazing. Like we have that still, and we're gonna print that out, get that framed.
That's really cool.
And then from there we go to Isabel, who did our sculpting, and she did the same thing. She's like, well, you got to think about how it's going to work for sculpting, for molds, and all this stuff. Like, so do you mind if I try some things out and send it to us? Like, oh my God, that's
and
because they have expertise to take your idea and then practically together in collaboration, it's still yours.
Right.
But you're working with people you trust that you should take their advice. Right. And then incorporate it into your idea. Nobody's going to make you do something you don't want to do.
Right. Yeah. And like, I'm just so grateful that, you know, we talked about it that day on stream because it seriously opened my eyes to looking at the whole thing a different way and, you know, finally got the ball rolling on stuff. But I don't know. Sounds like I just have this crazy control issue.
Maybe.
I don't think that's unique to you.
That's not unique to artists, by the way. By the way, you're an artist.
Yeah. We're messed up.
Surprise.
We have many flaws.
No, because there was a time when I thought I had to do it all too.
Yeah.
But you just sort of like you have to let go and allow other influences to affect it.
Right. Well, and the crazy thing is, like, anytime we decide to progress in this, like, it's something that we've never done before. So it's like all we can do is go off of the people around us. And, you know, personally, you don't know how you're going to feel going through those experiences. So it's like, it's scary, you know, and then you're putting all this time and, you know, financial, you know, investment into getting something made. And you're like, I'm pretty sure people will like it, you know, hopefully they do. But I always think back to like what Mike Becker said about that. Like, I like it. I'm going to make it. I'm sure there's other people out there who will like it just as much as me.
You know, 20 other weirdos who like the same thing that you do.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that's exactly the right way of thinking about it. And I think, you know, you touched on the community. It's such a good community here that we have, that we were glad to be a part of. And I think you and Christine have sort of the same, at the end of the day, the same why we haven't even looked at vinyl or anything like that, because it's like, because by the time you do that, and then they're putting the paint on it and they're making the figure, like, what do you do anymore?
Right. For sure.
And that's what we like about the resin thing. And that, you get the resin, you can paint them, you get the blanks, and you can just create things on it. You can create your own runs, you create your own things. And I see a lot of people that do.
I mean, Jason's the same way too.
Oh yeah.
right?
Yep.
I mean, he's partnered with BIMToy and they do vinyl, and that's awesome. But he's still doing his own thing in his garage.
Because he wants his own outlet in his garage, making his own thing. But I think again, the difference being like his type of paint versus your type of paint. To your point of the strengths, like you're going to do probably like what Christina does, a full painted figure, and paint all different types of techniques and different things. Where he's doing a lot more of the 3D design and the
double cast
resin, the double cast. They're all, and they're amazing in their own ways,
right?
In different types of creative ownership, I guess is the way I would put it, right?
Yeah, and I have no desire with this figure to even look at vinyl. Like it's just I actually don't like painting vinyl. I prefer to paint resin all day. I mean, the finishes are way nicer. Paint cures a lot better, like especially once it gets warm. I mean, you take these techs and you can just squish them, if it gets warm, and then you got paint on them and it gets sticky and bendy, and it's just scary shipping stuff like that. I paint a resin piece and I put a clear coat on it, and that thing's rock hard. It's a lot nicer. So I just want something that's accessible too. You go vinyl and you got to plan a whole year ahead. Like
or more nowadays,
or more. Yeah. I mean, if I decide that a month from now, I want to have
I think Funko has every factory on lockdown. And so they're not getting anything made. I mean, look at what did Jason say last year? Or last week, if everything was on plan, how many Burleys would you seen this year? 8,
9 or something like that.
8 or
9, whatever, a lot. I'd be broker than I am, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know. I thanked him actually.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You guys should keep the factory should really keep helping us out there, because less tiny ghosts, less this, less that.
Yeah, but no, I mean resin's just nice because if you decide that you want something,
all this fall, it's just gonna be all
I know. It's gonna be an onslaught of figures.
We're gonna get like the equivalent. We're gonna get like the BIMToy 20 Days of Christmas.
Yeah,
like these bastards.
Like this new business model that Sank is doing. It's like every quarter they're just doing this week long of just amazing pieces. Like every, I don't know, it seems like 8 weeks or so. I mean, they just showed off their next whole series, in the Sank groups, and it's crazy.
Yeah, that's a whole different level. I mean, that kind of stuff is amazing.
Yeah, but to just have resin and just have it accessible, I want 10, or I buy master molds and I learn how to resin cast myself. And, if Jason's got it made the way that he can cast his own stuff, he just does a few on the weekend and, he's feeling inspired. So he just gets it done, Yeah. I want to be able to have that accessibility.
I get jealous you can tell he's designing his stuff okay, I'm going to design it and then it'll be an easier mold to cast than what we did, how to do it all over again. Our next character that we create, Christina, let's make it a little bit more simplistic with parts.
I don't know what to say.
So when do you think oh wow, we only have 4 minutes left today. Look at that.
Oh geez.
So when do you think we'll be able to start seeing this creation that you're working on?
I don't know. That'll depend on Jason. He's busy. No,
you have him repainting figures.
No, I mean we're still getting some of the details. Kind of, it's in my hands now. Came back to me, so I'm getting some of the details and stuff, and then hopefully within a month or so we can start moving to actually getting some 3D sculpting done. And he told me if we get it done before Decon, he might sell some at his booth for me, so
nice.
That's incentive.
But you said it's in his ball. The ball's in his court, though. So there we go.
Oh, he literally just said the same thing.
Yeah,
he did just say that.
Yeah. But no, I don't know. We're just. I'm not
too
rushing it or anything. So, what?
I said, do you want any dahlias at your booth, Jason? Symbiotic. Look at that. Yeah, you guys saying the same thing at the same time.
I know, right?
It's like a married couple.
Yeah. That's great. That's awesome. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
We're planning on being at Decon.
We'll be there. We will be at Decon.
I'm thinking about going.
We're not. I don't think we'll be booth space this year. I mean, we know people that'll probably be there with. We can get space, but I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. What we're gonna be ready for.
I just want to go out there to go to Disneyland.
From somebody?
everything seems so far away until it's due, right? Right.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, that's 4 months from now. I could commit to that. And then all of a sudden, like, oh shit, that's next week.
That's artist putting stuff off, right? Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Like every time, like I'm like, oh yeah, let's do that. Like we have,
sure, I have time. This other thing's not due.
We're cutting it close right now because we got to take another run at this mold because we got to get some stuff going for July, for a July release. And
it's years flying by.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's a good idea, Jason. You show a few pieces of a few different booths and make a scavenger hunt. There we go.
Clint said, I wonder if Schl0 would do a dolly of. I mean.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, thank you for cleaning that up, Clint. I'm glad you're here. Oh, by the way, Clint, you weren't here, but you won our raffle today.
We had a raffle
for your birthday. No, that's just, I know that's the best birthday present I can give him.
Oh, right.
Because he never wins.
He never wins. I was going to give him a W for his birthday.
Yes, Eric knows that we would love for him to do a dolly.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So we are working with Being Now, and we're getting we're going to get a ton of blanks, and we'd love for you to take a couple of them and do something.
I'm going to have her do some of my casting because I'm afraid to work with the white resin given the allergy situation, and Damien's busy during
time. And it's one of those things where it's like, she's really great at it. So why would I try?
At it, so
trust me, the cost of material and my time versus her just doing it right.
Yeah,
I'll stand and prep and paint and do all that shit. But
that's why we have jobs and make money, so we can pay people to do things who are better than us.
How the economy works, right? That's what keeps it going, right? That's what keeps it going. Yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely. So I look forward to seeing your figure. I can't wait. Again, we ran out of time for the sack, Robbie. Keep going.
That's okay.
I sabotaged Robbie's sack.
Oh no.
So the question I have for the chat is, would it be worthwhile doing it another day, like just a whole 30-minute, like just?
I think Robbie Sack should have his own
show, like every week, just talk about all new designer toys that are coming out.
Honestly, I think so.
Yeah, I think so, Robbie. We should talk. Let's do that.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Especially through the
got you in the spotlight.
Yep.
We need the green screen with the big sack logo on behind, like behind your head.
Yeah. I'll send you a green screen. Okay, so everybody's saying yes, Robbie. So that's what we're gonna do. You know what we need to do? We need to like bookend it. Like we could have Barely raid the sack after his show.
Yeah, you got to just set it up like that.
Just set it up like that, right?
There you go.
On Thursday.
Everybody's on board. All right, that's what we're gonna do, Robbie.
Well, and then you'll have a nice 30-minute program to upload to YouTube after that too.
Oh yeah, just talking about all the new toys coming out.
Diversify.
Yep.
Yeah.
See,
it's very true. Right. All these things.
Robbie Sack, great idea.
It's a fun segment. I find I spend a lot of money that way.
I mean, people clearly like it. It has its own emote.
Yeah, look.
It's probably our most used.
And I guarantee it is.
Oh, definitely.
Yep.
I haven't seen it used in my chat yet, but
there you go. Gary will co-host it. He says with you.
There you go.
He'll buy stuff on it.
He'll be buying
you showing off things and then Gary buying it all.
Really, Gary wants to get into a chat with you so he knows previously what's going to be in the sack. So you can purchase before they're sold out. That's what he wants.
That is a good plan, Gary. Good.
I like it.
I don't blame you for that.
I mean, it's because while we're doing this, all these artist interviews we have for the next 3 months that we already have booked up. So looking forward to the rest of these. Speaking of which, next week, you're not going to want to miss it. We have Priscilla, Valor and Vellum, will be joining us next Saturday, which
awesome.
She's got a ton of stuff going on. Oh, by the way, talk about killing it in the casting department and actually getting shit done.
Yeah.
Like, man, who's more productive than Priscilla?
Yeah.
Organized.
She's insane.
She's insane. Like, I look at her and I just apologize to Christina for not casting anything. Like, I'm not casting anything.
She was in my chat the other day and I was like, asking people, what are you doing this weekend? She's like, well, I have 100 resin figures that I need to paint. And I was like, wow, you're nuts.
Wow. Exactly.
I actually told her she needs to get in touch with like some factories over in China and get paint masks made.
Oh,
that would make her life so much easier.
She could probably do something with a Cricut too then, like if it's just on a small small areas.
Having a little copper plate though that you just stick over it.
And it could be over her figure. Like
you can actually make paint masks like that with Super Sculpey too. People don't really think about that.
That's a good idea.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, Clayton. She's also doing the NFTs and she's doing this and she's doing pins still.
She's killing it.
killing it. So I can't wait to talk to her next week.
Yeah,
We'll
that'd
get
be
some
awesome.
good advice there. So don't miss that. You're not going to want to miss that next week. And then the week after that, we have Reese O'Brien on. And we're going to be talking. He's got a lot of stuff going on now too. He's going into Jason's bad influence on him, creating all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff there.
And all powered,
and by the way, all powered by Bean, who we had on a few weeks ago. I mean, so like we're going to give you a blueprint. If you want to make a toy, you watch this series from day one in May all the way through August, and you have a pretty good idea of the ins and outs of like what's going to do these things.
Seriously.
Yeah. So, all right. Are the we usually raid our friends over the STS guys and see if they're on. Sometimes they're on. Most times they're on. To be fair though. Let's see here. They are live. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and rate them. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure talking to you, Eric.
Thank you guys for having me,
Eric.
Yeah, can't wait to see your figure. I'm sure it's
you guys will be the first to see behind the scenes. I'm sure.
All right, I can't wait. And,
you'll have to let us know when you're ready. Maybe you can announce it on the show or something.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's a good idea. Like when you're ready to show it off.
I mean, if you want to.
I'll do like a book tour.
I mean, we'd love to have you. Of course, you have your own show, but I'd love to have you on and share it. Awesome. Well, maybe we can, and then with the new Robbie Sachs show, it could be the feature of the week one week. Like
we're making things happen tonight.
Yeah,
yep. That's right. Awesome. It's a great community. This community is fantastic because there's so many of us to help each other out, and I love it. And it's fantastic. So do the talk show circuit. Exactly. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for having me.
See you next week.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody.
Yep.
Bye.